Hi guys, welcome back to ThinkView. My name's Williams, and at ThinkView, we have been using the M3, the M3 Pro, and the M3 Max for both YouTube work and for the production house in Vietnam. And in today's video, I will share with you which one you should buy. And the most important part in today's video is how the real-life experience with each version will be. And so you will know what's good about the MacBook M3 series and whether you should buy it or not. First, let me talk about the hardware differences. You might find it strange because they are the MacBook Pro 2024 models, so why are they different? Well, it's the Apple ways after all. Well, Apple always know how to devise their products to encourage users to buy the more expensive version. That's why even within the same product line, with just the different configurations, the hardware aspect like the colors, the fans, or the connectivities are also different. Specifically, the base model of the MacBook Pro 14 will have one less fan. And because of removing one fan, it makes the machine slightly lighter. Furthermore, the MacBook Pro 14 M3 also doesn't come in the new space black colors. And it also cuts one Type-C port on the right side, so sometimes charging requires moving the cable to the left, which is quite inconvenient. Actually, the inconvenience isn't in moving the cables, but it's to spending $1,600 for a premium machine that doesn't have the basic experience. And this mindset continues when you look at the RAMs. The base model of the MacBook Pro 14 will only have 8GB of RAMs. It's quite ridiculous that the Pro product at the Pro price only has 8GB of RAMs. Okay, talking about the performance differences, this is where Apple has really carefully calculated. For those who are willing to spend more, we have a more powerful chips. When it comes to single-core performance, the Apple M3 series leaps ahead of the Apple M1 and the Apple M2 because they utilize a more optimized 3nm process. However, between the Apple M3, M3 Pro, and M3 Max, there isn't much difference in single-core performance. As for multi-core performance, a higher-end chips, Apple increased the number of CPU and GPU cores, resulting in an increase in performance. Apple even boosts the RAM capacity. For example, the base model with Apple M3 only has 8GB of RAM, while the base model of the M3 Pro jumps to 18GB of RAM, and the base model of the M3 Max goes up to 36GB of RAM. So whether you're gaming or doing graphic works, don't worry that the more you invest, the more performance you will get in return. This is the part that we at ThinkView have had to experience for many months before sharing with you. Speaking of the MacBook Pro 14 M3's 8GB RAM version, I know that in 2024, a lot of people can use it comfortably, especially with the optimized unified RAM of the MacBook. In fact, we're even using a MacBook Air 15 with Apple M2 and 8GB RAMs specifically for editing TikTok videos without any issues. However, there are two groups of people that I think shouldn't buy this machine. Firstly, those limited by 8GB of RAM, and secondly, those limited by the Apple M3 chips. Talking about the first group, no matter how optimized is it, 8GB of RAM is still just 8GB of RAM. And if your work demands heavy multitasking, consistently having dozens of Safari tabs open, multiple task management software, a lot of graphic design software, and especially if you always need everything to respond instantly, then you definitely need a machine with a bit more RAM. Because while 8GB of RAM might handle things at time, but when it comes to the real-world experience about multitasking, the device will start to lag and freeze whenever the RAM gets congested. At ThinkView channels in Vietnam, we even made a video comparing 8GB of RAM on MacBook with 16GB of RAM on the mid-range Windows laptops. And the 16GB of physical RAM still performs better. Just a note to you all, the Apple M3 line features dynamic caching, which optimizes RAM better. However, it helps the GPU utilize RAM more efficiently, when you only notice it when you're doing heavy graphic-related work. But for regular office tasks, dynamic caching won't intervene. Okay, so to avoid misunderstanding, the 8GB of RAM in the M3 is not better than the 8GB of RAM in the M2. They're the same for the basic multitasking need. Okay, so the second group of the people who shouldn't buy this machine is those who are limited by the Apple M3 chips. Okay, so let me explain. So when we're working on a ThinkView project, it doesn't matter we're working on the M1, M2 or M3, they all lag. Of course, it doesn't lag in a choppy way. It just sometimes freeze, causing the Final Cut software to crash or the machine to hang, requiring a forced quit. Another issue is that during the advanced tasks such as rendering time, the difference in rendering times between the Pros and Mac version compared to the regular one is significant, because the number of CPU and GPU cores as well as the amount of RAM is significantly higher in the Pros and the Mac version. Okay, so let's go further in the rendering time. For example, after shooting and editing a file, the Apple M3 version takes an average of 20 to 25 minutes to render, but it's all still not finished. I need to review the final videos. If there are mistakes, I have to ask the editors to make the corrections, which take about 20 to 30 minutes. Then for project that needs to be sent for client for review, there are usually around 2 or 3 rounds of revisions, adding another 2 or 3 hours in total, including time spent on editings and waiting. Do you see it now? So for serious work demand that prioritize optimization, speed, responsiveness, or simply value time as money, you still need for the M3 Pros or the M3 Max, depending on your needs. The majority of users might find the Pro is more than enough. This includes those with non-professionals or semi-professional needs like myself. However, for professionals in field like the video productions, music productions, or heavy graphic design, such as the production team at ThinkView, the Max version will be necessary. It increased number of CPU, GPUs, and RAM, which provides a completely different level of performance. Okay, so that's some of my thoughts about choosing a suitable MacBook. What do you guys think? Please comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is William and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.